Hi everyone, I'm here today to do the Sims book tag. Now I wasn't tagged in this video specifically, but I did see Hayley, the original creator, who I will link the video of down below, do this morning, well, yesterday morning for you now, and I was just far too excited about the idea to wait for anyone to tag me, so yeah, I'm just gonna get on with it. Question 1, the original Sims, the best author debut. And for this one, I've got to pick You by Caroline Kepnes. I know if you watch my channel, you will have realised that I won't shut up about this book. I'm really sorry. It's just too amazing. If you've been living under a rock and you don't know what this book is about, it is a psychological thriller told from the perspective of a complete and utter nut job, is the polite way of putting it. But the character's name is Joe, and he is a stalker and serial killer. And it was definitely one of my favourite books of last year. Question 2, The Grim Reaper, and this one is the saddest character death. I need to have a think about this one. I've got one. It's terrible, but I've got one. Now, this one is going to be a spoiler. So, the entire time that I'm holding the book up, if you haven't read the whole of the Harry Potter series, you should mute until I pull the book back down. So, I know that this is going to sound really bizarre. You sat there wondering which character I'm going for, but none of you are going to get it right. The person that I felt, well, it's not a person. The most heartbreak I had character-wise, death, was Hedwig. I just didn't see that coming at all, and I was heartbroken. I was crying like anything. I'm not sure if I cried at any other deaths in the series. Can't remember doing so. Just Hedwig. So on the spur of the moment, this is the best one I could think of. Honestly, I was heartbroken. Heartbroken. Welcome back to those of you who wanted to avoid the spoiler. Now we shall move on to question 3. Sims getting stuck. A character that gets in the way. And for this one, I'm going to go for... What's his name? What's his name? I'm so prepared. I'm sat here googling a character's name. What's his bleeding name? The moment I see it, I'm going to be like, oh yes. Come on, come on, come on. No, that's not his name. What's his name? Ah, there we go. There we go. Finally got his name. Can't believe I didn't think of his name. I'm awful with names. So, for this one, I'm going for Aspen from the Selection series. And that's because I don't approve of how he is trying to get to America. I don't approve of how much he is trying to ruin things. I just don't actually even like him as a character. I didn't like him from the moment he enters it in the beginning of book 1. I don't like Aspen. He gets in the way. Gets in the way of true love. Question 4, Simlish. And if you're not aware, The Sims, this is basically their language. A book with amazing writing. You know when you struggle to not just name the same books in every single book tag you do? Okay, I don't know where my copy is, so I'm just going to have to insert an image. But I am going for my standard go-to answer for this one, and that is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I think it's an absolutely amazing book, and it's wonderfully written. Number 5 is Expansion Packs, a series where the books just keep getting better and better. And for me, this one was a really obvious choice. The Mortal Instruments. Now, I might stretch this even further and say that just the Shadowhunter Chronicles full stop. I feel like every book Cassandra Clare brings out always outdoes the last one. Well, except for a couple in this series here and there. But for the most part, this series gets a lot better. And the Infernal Device is even better still. And Lady of Midnight just blew my mind. So, yeah. Question 6 is Sims Romance, the worst case of insta-love. And for this one, I am going to go for, what's it called? What is wrong with my memory today? The Lake by Annalisa Grant. This is an audiobook that I picked up last year. You can get in physical copies of it. I listened to the audiobook and quite frankly, if I hadn't listened to the audiobook, I wouldn't have got through it. It was that bad. The insta love was just horrific. He never really explained, or rather they both never really explained what it was they liked about each other. They just were like, ooh, instantly, I think you're amazing, I love you, blah, 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 blah. I hate insta love. Number 7, Cheats, a book that was entirely unrealistic. And for this one, you are not allowed to pick a fantasy book. It must be sort of like contemporary or that kind of thing. So for this one, I've got a really strange choice actually. I'm going to go for Matilda. And the reason why I'm picking this one is because Matilda, from an age of 3, 4, 5, I can't remember one of those, takes herself to the library every day. And that is just so beyond unrealistic. I can't even begin to imagine how that could ever be considered realistic. A child walking down the street every day to the library, checking out books, taking a trailer like full of them home, dragging them. That's just not realistic. And some of the struggles she goes through as well when she goes to school, like if you're familiar with this story, there's something called the chokey, where children are shoved in there as a punishment, and it's basically like a cupboard that has got spikes all the way around it, and you have to stand perfectly still and upright because otherwise you will get spiked, and you are left in there for several hours at a time. Again, that is not something that could ever have happened. It's not realistic in the slightest, but Roald Dahl pulls it off in such a way where it feels like it could have been real. Question 8, needs fulfillment, a character who makes all the wrong decisions. And after much deliberating, I've decided to go for, what's her name? I've decided to go for Rosie from The Bones of You. And I can't say too much because I don't want to go into spoilers at all with this one. But this young girl goes missing, Rosie goes missing, and because of the choices she has made, it gets her in a lot of trouble, and as a result things turn out very badly. But it's not just her that makes the wrong decisions, it's her parents as well. There's so many messed up people in this book. I don't even know which character I'd want to go for in the end. They're all messed up, they all make so many terrible decisions, they all go around accusing each other of murdering Rosie and this, that and the other, and everyone just needs to stop making such bad decisions, basically. Number 9 is Erico, a series that started off great and went downhill fast. For this one, I'm stretching it a bit because I don't think it necessarily started off great, but I'm going to go with the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. Now, I thought Red Queen was okay. I gave it 3.5 stars, something like that. I enjoyed it. I thought, you know, it was a reasonable read. And then I picked up Glass Sword last month and I struggled not to throw my Kindle out the window. I hated it, I struggled to finish it. It took me all the power in the world to finish that book. And I gave it 1 star and I hated it, and I think I gave it 1 star anyway. Either 1 or 2 stars, probably 1 star. I hated it, and I quite frankly never want to read anything by this author again. That's the sort of point I have now reached. Now, whether I'll actually be able to do that or not is a different matter, and I may end up picking the 3rd book up in the series whenever that comes out, but as it currently stands, this series is going downhill mega fast for me. Mega fast. And actually, from what I've seen of reviews, you either love this book or you absolutely despise it, and there are many other people out there that despise it with me, so I feel okay about that. Then question 10 is The Sims Vortex, a book or series that completely engrossed you. Now, for this one, I might seem like I was maybe a bit out of touch with the times or maybe something like that, but a couple of Christmases ago now, my boyfriend bought me the whole Divergent trilogy for Christmas, and I devoured them. I literally devoured them. I didn't even know what they were about going into them, and I literally just picked this one up, flew through it, picked the second one up, flew through it, picked the 3rd one up, flew through it. I read them, all 3 of them, in about 2 weeks, which at the time was really fast reading for me. I was getting through maybe 30 books a year if I was lucky at that point. And so this series was probably my absolute love of last year, the very beginning of last year, because I just devoured it. And question 11, who do you tag? I'm not really sure, I don't know who likes The Sims and who doesn't. So I'm just going to tag a few of you down below, and if you like The Sims, feel free to do it. If you don't like The Sims, don't worry about it. So check the description box below if you want to see if you've been tagged. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more bookish videos from me. I do reviews, I'm going to start doing book hauls again, I do wrap-ups, I do book tags. I post videos every Wednesday, Friday and Sunday, usually at 5 PM. Sometimes the time varies a little bit, but usually at 5 PM. And yeah, thank you very much. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!